class, it's Mrs. Gilling back here again, this time for your lesson 17 video assignment about your discussion prompt here. You know what's coming. Of course, I've got a joke for you. Why did the ancient Egyptian go to jail? Because he couldn't stop running his pyramid scheme. Get it? Because, the ancient Egyptians built a bunch of pyramids and oh man, I don't know. Maybe my material's getting worse and worse as we get further along in the, or maybe it's getting better. Maybe you really like that one. I don't know. Maybe you're ready for world history now that you heard that joke. All right, let's talk about your discussion prompt. So this one's a pretty straightforward one. You don't have an image to look at this time or a video to watch. You're just gonna answer a few questions. So, based on what you learned in lesson 17 and or your own Civil War technology research, answer the following questions using complete sentences. So number one, which weapon or invention do you think was the most important in the Civil War? So think about all the stuff you've learned. There's lots of stuff in the course about different things that came about during the Civil War. Feel free even to go and do some additional research if you want to do a Google search and find out some stuff. Now, don't copy and paste what somebody else said they think the most important thing was, but maybe do a Google search of what were some of the Civil War technology and weapons that were around and look over them and see which ones stick out to you. So again, feel free to use just what you learned in the course, but if you want to dive in a little deeper and look at some other stuff, that's fantastic as well. So first question, just which weapon or invention do you think was the most important in the Civil War? And make sure you write a complete sentence. Number two, why do you think it was the most important? So back up your opinion here. You think it's the most important. Why? What is it that made it such a big invention or weapon? And again, make sure you're using a complete sentence there. And then number three, this is a kind of interesting question, but I think it's important. It helps you analyze a little bit. How does it impact us today? So, think of an invention that happened. How did that weapon, how does it impact us today? Did different weapons that we have today, are they derived from that? Or is that an invention that we still use today that influences us? So make sure to have that complete sentence, digging deep into how it still matters to us today. Here's your rubric. So you'll get 20 points for writing at least one complete sentence where you explain which weapon or invention you think was the most important in the Civil War. You'll get 40 points for writing at least one sentence explaining why you think that weapon or invention was the most important. And then 40 points for writing at least one sentence where you explain how that weapon or invention still impacts us today. So just, another key point here, I brought it up earlier, just even if you're doing that outside research, make sure you're putting everything in your own words. I'm not really looking for a right or wrong answer here. I'm just looking for you to accurately state something that was invented during that time, and then let me know your opinion on why you think that was so important. Definitely reach out to me with any questions that you have. But as always, good luck completing this video assignment and on completing your discussion prompt. Thanks so much, guys.